Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Northern Arena Beat Invitational presented by Bell here on moonducktv. I'm Zyori, joined again by Mott Pax, and we've got game 3 of 5 for you here. Team NP versus Doo-Wop. Woo! The winners of the winners. Purge, not the guy I'm casting with. Mott Pax, what's going on, dude? How you doing?
Sorry, guys. Downgrade here.
Damn it.
Okay. All those Shadow Demon bands, I guess. Couldn't get Purge in here.
Nope.
No, that's the
one.
issue.
Nice save.
Thank you.
So I'm pumped, though. Team NP dominated their game. Team Doo-Wop, a.k.a. the Evernovas, as they were previously known, pretty much dominated their game as well. I think Group B has a pretty clear disparity between the top two teams and the what now looks like the bottom two teams. So we'll see a lot on the line. As you mentioned before, both teams now undefeated in this current season in their present form. That's about to change. Somebody will be defeated here.
Strong opener, reactionary, for the most part, going like the Oracle first. Very safe support, decent against the Faceless Void, which has got to be the big guy left here in the pool, especially the way we saw MSS play it. Will be interesting to see if they go for it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's Oracle, but who cares, honestly? Like, Drow's already gone, so you don't have to worry about like some like Drow Venge thing coming out. Then you have like a double save between Oracle and Swap, and it syncs up well. Like,
yeah,
it's too good.
I think Oracle, it sort of depends what other support cast they go for, but just Oracle is that savior support. Void can control decently. I think you'll just notice NP be a little more conservative with the Chrono and make sure they catch the Oracle, or maybe even times lock down the Oracle. But now they've got a second reset. Naga Siren, open-ended second pick here. Could be core, could be support. Interesting choice from DW.
Yeah, nice. Sanking and Naga Siren, right? This was, I mean, we said it earlier today, but DC Dota. Swapping those around between Misery and either Resolution or Weha or whatever the hell they wanted to do. But is more than likely, I would guess we'll see kind of that same scenario where we have the support sanking. Worked out pretty well for NP. Maybe if they don't get a good enough set of support, since there is no Shadow Demon, they might have a harder time, and maybe they'll want to put him in a core role for the sanking. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I mean, Naga is it's one of those heroes that can kind of win you a game, maybe that you are feeling at odds in.
Yes, that is a good point about the Naga. I mean, if you feel like you're up against someone who's possibly stronger than you can always have a Naga hit critical mass and be quite hard to deal with. But I think Sand King Void is already an okay duo to try to deal with a Naga Siren. Good lockdown, some good follow-up damage. Curious where they're going to take it from here. Huskar now banned out by NP. They do not want to play against that again. Smart choice, nothing too surprising.
Yeah, I can't really blame them, honestly. I mean, the Ursa worked out pretty damn well. Might even see that band. Honestly, it's solidly played by AUI. And what about IO Tiny? I mean, when I think about AUI, badass Tiny player. I'm not too sure about SVG or 1437's IO play, but that is an option that hasn't been explored so far. We'll see if they want to try for something like that against someone like maybe a split pushing Naga that you're trying to get a hold of, right? Like Vision always becomes important between like Terrorblade and Naga teams when you're trying to hunt down that ever elusive hero.
Yeah, I can definitely see that working. OD, third ban from Doo-Wop. I do like it. We haven't seen OD a whole lot, but it seems like he's been making a resurgence. I've seen him banned actually a fair bit this tournament and just the 2 days of coverage already. I think OD is actually in an okay place, though. He comes online maybe a little bit slow, but mid-game, he's one of those carries that can scale really well and can do an insane amount of damage. If you have a team that can either control so he can do damage or supports that can bail him out, he can be really hard to deal with. So I like the idea of banning him here. Void is just the perfect setup for the hammer and all those right clicks. Same with Invoker, another smart ban here from Doo-Wop. It looks like Team NP were watching the last game, Enchantress banned. Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, that's nice, right? Like, it's frustrating when it's inside the Chrono, even though if you have the magic damage from a Sand King or something. Don't really want to have to deal with that untouchable.
Yep.
I can understand it.
I mean, it can be an annoying hero, and we talked about it before. It was like seeing Ursa banned in the second game after he dominated in game one. You watch it, you're like, okay, yeah, that's a hero they're good with. Let's just not let's not deal with that whole aspect.
Speaking of good, who's left in the pool here? Kunkka, probably the most valuable hero who's still remaining here, I would wager.
Yeah.
Our Morphling, we haven't seen him yet today, but he's a hero that's been shown to be pretty good. Mirana still chilling out here. Kind of like replaced by Enchantress in this case. Could be
Rana could
nice
be
with
really
the
good,
Naga.
though.
Like you get the if this is like a support Naga, right? You counter initiate the Chrono with the song. You can set up an arrow to come out after, and you can like turn the fight around based on that. Maybe get a nice AOE follow up as well. You do need some sort of a core to do it, of course. So if you're running like Oracle Naga support duo.
Yeah. I like the Lion choice, though, from MP. It does give you some good illusion control, mana drain. You won't often see a Lion use Hex on an illusion, but does instant kill it if you're ever in a pickle. Just good control. Also, huge burst damage. Allows him and Sand King to kind of be a roaming duo and kill folks. And good follow-up for the Faceless Void Chrono. Now Axe, the third choice for Doo-Wop. Big beefy bruiser. Probably their off-laner.
That is that nice AoE counter initiation though. Like that's something that can really capitalize on Song. One of the best heroes left. I mean, Chrono is probably the best one, right? But Axe can find that perfect little place for a call. Just it really needs that nice little synergy of like 3 heroes next to each other.
Yeah, like Dark Seer is really good. Kunkka pretty good as well. Axe versus Sand King. That's kind of an interesting matchup, though. We were talking earlier about how they both are the 1v1 melee dominator, and I'm not sure who really wins that heads-up match if that's how the lanes go. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, depending on what roles we're going to see either of them in, right? Like, Axe maybe just heads jungle or something, depending on what he's seeing up there.
It's possible. They could jungle the Axe. Morphling now the last pick for NP. A lot of magical burst damage now on this team across the Sand King, Lion, and Morphling.
I'm just going to assume this isn't a Sand King Envy, so I'm just going to go with it being support at this point, I think.
Yeah.
But their initiation won't be very good in the early stages, right? Like Lion, if you get a good angle out of the trees, maybe you can hop on someone, but it won't be quite as good as like a Shadow Demon, I don't think. Slightly smaller range.
Yeah. I don't know. This Doo-Wop draft is kind of weird to me. They need to figure out how they want to take this. If it's a core Naga, then they've got a lot of late game security, so they need some strong laners that can do some 4+1 while Naga farms. If it's a Naga support, we need to see how they want this draft to go and how they plan on dealing with this massive team fight from NP. There's really nothing surprising about the NP heroes, right? All 4 of them are pretty strong in this meta, work well together, good laners, good team fighters, strong at pretty much every stage of the game.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure
Morphling
that...
is a very like envy hero too, so we might end up seeing like a position 1 hero that is more active, like or maybe they'll just maybe like a mid laner or something that just goes in position 1, but you could really see Envy rocking on this Morphling, very much his style, right? Split pushing kind of a hero, farms up pretty hard. The way he kind of played his Razor even.
Yeah, that's true. I was thinking they could go back for like safe lane the Morphling, off lane the Void, then go back for like an Ember Spirit mid and have Envy play that. That was kind of my
depending
thought,
on what they need, right, to deal with the split push and everything.
Yeah, it really depends on what Doo-Wop, like what that mid lane matchup looks like, but Ember is another hero that Envy does play. Ursa for Doo-Wop, so a lot of physical right click now. Interesting that they have such a melee heavy lineup against the Void and Sand King, though. 2 heroes that tend to thrive against melee cores, just in terms of team fights. Just more grouped up, easier for them to connect with multi-hero stuns, multi-hero chronos.
That's tough too. Like it almost looks like a BKB game. I mean, you've got a Lion, you've got a Sand King.
Yeah.
But then you also have Chrono to deal with. So you wonder if like your Aghanim Scepter is going to be a Chen ban. Okay. They're a little bit worried about some early game push.
All right. I could see that.
Slightly understood. Maybe like a Ace and Ursa or something in the mid lane possibly. Or if you like get super active or something. Then run in with the Chen. Interesting.
Yeah.
Final ban. I'm think something goes well with Chrono, right? I mean, you can think like Queen of Pain style. They'll just ban the Razor.
Could this be off-lane Morphling? Yeah, but Envy played it in game 1. Could this be that off-lane Morphling where you just go for the stun build, basically?
I hope not. I'm sure it'll be MSS Void.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think MSS is a Morphling player.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But, Dota 2, that's the beauty of the game, right? We've seen it. Ice, ice, ice. I remember the Ice attempted offlane PL.
Oh,
that never really quite made that transition.
I remember that one. Yeah. Yeah, the offlane Morphling. I think the only time I've seen it in even remotely like recent history was against an Alchemist or some really good Radiance carry. And I think he ended up getting the Aghanims, and it was just this big nuisance. It sort of seemed like, oh, what's the Morphling? Hey, whoa, okay. There it is.
You're so next level, dude. You didn't even realize.
It just next leveled myself. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now a lot of late game for Doo-Wop. Couple of decent Ags carriers here, so that's great with the Alchemist if it ends up going super late game. So looking like support Naga, Alch mid, probably safe lane Ursa with an off lane Axe.
Yeah, off lane / jungling Axe or something like that, right? Whatever you got to do.
Yeah. So the question
to
is,
make things work.
what is MP now want against the Alchemist mid? What's the dream matchup there? Is like Morphling versus Alch? I don't know how that matchup goes.
I mean, you throw acid spray. Like, what are the supports is the biggest thing. I mean, you're assuming it's going to be this Naga and Oracle with an axe, like potentially running out of the jungle. Not too scary for a Morphling. Could do pretty well. There's still Juggernaut if they just wanted to send that mid as well. Would do fine. Just using that healing and, of course, deal with the acid spray. So you can kind of take your pick here, right? Do you want someone who's going to try and zone out this Alchemist and bring in help from an Oracle or something, and then try and create some space for a Faceless Void, and maybe give an option for Sand a line to be active? Where
Ember.
like, because yeah,
nope, it's Terrorblade.
EE Dota.
So EE Terrorblade, and that means it is the AUI Morphling with the MSS Faceless Void. All right. Well, we talked about Terrorblade in Game 1, something that Envy likes, and a liar out of us he shall not make today.
Honestly, good luck, Francis. That's all I have to say. Like, he has to be the catch for a Morphling and a Terrorblade and a Faceless Void. And, like, he's the only one, basically, unless they comboed up with, like, a stun, to hold in place these 3 extremely annoying heroes, because you have Time Walk on one, you've got just Waveform, or your Escape, of course, with the Replicate, or you have Sunder. So if you don't fully execute those kills with the Ursa, they're just going to turn the fight completely around. Like, one single mistake could be punished so heavily here from NP. And, like, going into a Morphling and a Terrorblade is already going to be hard enough, and then you have 3 heroes that are great at counter-initiation between the Lion, the Sand King, and the Faceless Void.
And on top of that, you've got great burst damage to deal with the early game Alchemist before he's really online. And you've even got the secondary, like the backup burst damage in case, Finger, Waveform, Burrow Strike, all that stuff doesn't work. You can always, sunder him down and get him into a low HP pool that way. A lot of options for NP, a lot of flexibility in this draft, and also a lot of damage to dump into the Chrono. Like MSS can really just play initiator role this game. We'll probably look for the Vlad's Blink build, pretty standard offlane Void stuff. And then you've got meta, you've got Morphling, and a lot of extra damage on top of that between Lion and Sand King. You can dump into the Chrono. Now, where DW could really shine, though, Trent, is if they somehow manage to take this super late game, and even then, that's pretty tough. Terrorblade, Morphling, Void,
I don't want to.
They do pretty well late game. So this presents a precarious kind of situation for DW. Like, at what point in this game does their lineup really hit a power curve spike where they can hit the gas? Alch's not really an early game hero. Axe, very specific timings around Blink Dagger and core items. Kind of same with Ursa. Like, if Axe and Ursa don't get well-timed blinks, or even if one of them gets shut down, it starts to cripple this whole strategy a little bit. Like, part of me feels like NP could just run them down off of a good laning phase.
Yeah, it could go either way, though, for sure. Like, if they get a decent start on Doo-Wop, you start to look towards like NP, lower levels, and something like a Sand King. This ward is done. It's a little bit deeper, and it also didn't block a camp, so maybe that'll be enough mystery that they can't quite find it. We'll see. But in the end, if they get some sort of a decent lead, maybe some mistakes come up from NP, or just really good rotations from Doo-Wop, then you have Chrono is really your only option when there's lower levels and no farm on a line or Sand King. You don't have any like distance through Burrow Strike. You don't have a blink to get in with a Hex, and then you're relying on MSS Chronoing, and maybe Song will be up by that point, and they could close out a couple of these towers, take Roche.
Yeah, there's a lot of pick-off potential if they're able to find those Aghanims. Naga can set up, and you're right, they do have some counter-initiation tools. If Naga's not caught in the Chrono, she can reset. If Oracle's not caught in the Chrono, he can at least save a target. So it's true. Maybe I'm making it, I was making it sound a little more one-sided than it is, but I'm excited to see Terrorblade mid, man. That's not something I'm accustomed to. He's going for Mango, Poor Man's, and double pooled Tango as his opening build here is both the Terrorblade and Alchemist secure the opening bounties.
This was the original max reflection build, I think, right? It was like that. Everyone was like maxing reflection out of nowhere. It was like the dead skill that no one even put points into, and then people started going max reflection mid TB, and it was pretty dope.
Okay. Wow,
So
look at this
we'll see.
alchemist weapon, dude. You ever see the
Yeah.
former alloy blades, the rare honored swords, Alliance Pro gear? What are these awesome cosmetics we're seeing
Dude,
today?
the butterfly ones. They're the cool alch items.
That is badass, dude. I'm so used to seeing alch with the radiant swords. That's like the really common one.
Yeah.
That's way cooler. The butterflies.
Because
So-
it's expensive, so you gotta show off, right?
Oh, okay.
When you have the
How
radiance.
much is? Oh, the radiance is expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the butterflies look cooler. I'm not gonna lie. Aggro
This is nice,
Tri-Lane
though,
from
right,
DW.
Oh yeah.
Look at this. Did not expect an aggro Tri-Lane with 2 melee heroes, but
I mean, not much SVG can do, right? Like Caustic, level 1 Sand King, not too scary. They of course know he has it.
yep. Oh, he gets initiated on as well. Fortune's End slows him down. Mason trying to close the gap, but they can't quite get there. Sand King will survive. Yeah, gets the extra HP there from that Tango after planting a tree. Slightly rough start here for NP. AUI still able to farm, but not the way he would like.
Yeah, you think about old Sand King, and you don't even care. You just like go in the jungle and go press W right now or something, right? But now he has 2 tangos left, and he has no burrow strike. So like, what can he even do?
Well, they drop a stun onto way 2, but now SVG goes in. Could well be the first blood. One more auto attack. 9 HP. He lives.
Calculated.
Oh my, way 2 had to commit for it, and he'll get pretty low himself. Both sides will just back out and head towards healing. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, oh, just Snake King getting up onto the tower. Okay. You know, Envy's actually
doing pretty well, honestly.
dominating this mid lane. 9-8 on the TB to 3-2 on the Alchemist.
I mean, think about how this goes though, because level 1 Snake King's gonna have the bounty, which he did. So he had the Greevil's Greed,
Okay.
and then every Terrorblade right now always goes Metamorphosis 1, and they just take the first wave CS with it.
Okay.
And then you can't contest it, so it's like guaranteed. And then he's also going to be denying that first wave from you too. So it's really tough in a 1v1 mid situation.
That's true.
But now you can start to see it starting to turn, right? Like Envy has a salve up, Snake King's still full. He's going to have that soul ring,
yeah.
hopefully sooner.
I mean, one of the other things to this matchup is just how much armor the Terrorblade has. Most heroes, that acid
Yeah.
spray really hurts. Envy's looking at that like -4. Yeah, okay, bro. Good luck with that. I still have plenty to spare, let's say.
Yeah, that's true. And of course, that is physical as well. So it means that, the more armor you have, the less damage you're taking. It's all
Right.
good.
Yeah, so we'll see how it continues to transpire. You're right, though. Snake King is starting to slowly but surely recover. This is kind of a cool idea against the Alchemist, though. Just pick a hero that can bully him from level 1 and then try to maintain some of that momentum so we can't get off to that super fast start. It's an interesting thought from NP. I'm really curious to see how it works. And also, like, what build does Envy go for here? Will we just see a standard, like, probably fast Dragonlance, similar to what he did with the Razor? Like, Dragonlance BOT, maybe?
Definitely the Dragonlance, I would say. Probably gonna like try and pair up with Chronosphere and get 1 kill, push tower, have AUI just farming. Like this is one of AUI's signature heroes. Probably his most signature hero in the past couple of years. It used to be like his tiny and stuff, but in the past like 2 or 3 in terms of like professional games when he's carrying as well as streaming, it's definitely his Morphling. So he's super comfortable right now. And I think they just want to let him do his own thing. So the more that Envy can actually contribute early on, the better.
Looking at the bottom lane, Francis versus MSS, Void versus Axe. An Axe-favored matchup, of course, melee on melee, but MSS still finding a fair bit of farm. Picked up a double damage rune there as he heads back towards lane. Morphling still doing okay despite all this pressure under the tower. And, honestly, even though meta's been down, Envy's still dominating this lane pretty effectively. Out with only 7 last hits now at the 4-minute mark. This is more than just that Metamorphosis dominance. This is Envy starting to just bully him even at this stage.
Yeah, and now even SVG coming in so close to finding that Burrow Strike.
Yeah, that was a really close call. So this is tough for DW. Already, that's a pretty minor lead for NP, but a team with the even being even, if you're the team with the Alchemist, that's not where you want to be. You want to be ahead at this stage with that Alch, on an upward trajectory.
Yeah, this is where you hope to turn around with the Acid Spray spam, with the Soul Ring, but I don't know if it's going to be enough at this rate. Like, Metamorphosis is back in 30 more seconds.
Yeah. And like you said, at that point, it's not like, oh, he just starts to get the last hits. It's no, Alchemist actually just can't lane against it because Alchemist, very low armor hero himself, starting armor 2. The right clicks from meta at this stage really hurt him quite a bit. And you see Envy just tanking it for now, and it is starting to hurt. -6.
There's no fear, though.
Periodic damage. Oh, back up top. 1437. Caught by a Fortune's End. Way too trying to pursue. Can't get in range. AUI pushed back by Mason. It's an odd little back and forth here, but it looks like neither side will be able to easily find a kill. They do drop a stun onto Mason. Pretty far under tower. Rose needs to be careful. First blood drawn by Jason. Way too taking a lot of damage, but AUI can't finish the kill. He's forced to morph strength. Heads back the other way, and SVG gets him with Caustic. Oh, my. Okay, ends up being slightly better for NP. They get a 2-for-1. They don't get the first blood, but they get the better of the exchange for sure.
Yeah, and the fact that they're running this trio up top here just means that Envy has zero fear. He can't die. He can be as low as he wants, and there's nothing the Alchemist can do, because you know he doesn't have any points in Concoction, because this is mid-alch. He's only level 5. So you have higher movement speed. Like, the second that you just don't want to die, you just run away. There's literally nothing he can do.
Yeah, I like this idea from Envy, though. Also, another dynamic we didn't really talk about, controlling runes. He can go to one. He can send illusions to the other. Won't always be able to find the deny, but at least you've got something there to, you know, distract the Alk and maybe be able to snatch the rune, or at the very least finish it off. It's another cool hero in that sense, where you can find vision. And you're talking about the Vax Reflection build. This is the polar opposite. Zero reflection at level 7.
Going the more tried and true.
Mm-hmm.
And nice little play here, just kind of smoking up, maybe thinking he went jungle, but it's actually a big rotation at bottom.
Yeah, Metamorphosis outside of the Chrono. A lot of damage onto the Axe. There is a TP rotation from the level 4 Oracle. Will not be enough to keep Axe alive. SVG falls short on the stun. They do get the kill that they came for. And they will just continue on here. Envy still with a lot of time left on meta. Put some pressure into this tower. Glyph comes out, but this will be a tough defense for DW if they want to try to keep this tower alive.
Oh, man. That was, like, picture perfect, though. Like, level 6 MSS, boom. Like, I am down here with my mid-hero. We are killing your lane, and now we're going to take your tower. Your Axe is down. I know you can't rotate in your Alchemist. He's sitting under my tower without a TP. So 7 minutes in, I can just take this because I'm Terrorblade and I still have half duration left on Metamorphosis.
Yeah,
you just lost your tower.
Well, and this is usually what you do if it's a safe lane TB. Around this time is when you group up, you get a siege creep, and you try and knock down that enemy tier 1. And instead of doing that in the mid lane, they set up a gank, and now they'll take down this tower, which will open up the jungle a lot more, allow his teammates to start clearing out these camps, putting some pressure on DW, limiting where they can farm, and then he can very easily just go back mid, continue farming, and use another meta later on to finish off this tower. It's just a really cool rotation. This is the kind of play that you really wouldn't expect. Like, look out for the 6.5-minute roaming Terrorblade, said no one ever. You know, I doubt that was something DW were really concerned about when they sat down and started this draft.
It's so similar to last game, too, though, where AUI is just on a hero that they're not concerned about. I mean, we were even comparing the Ursa to a Morphling. We were saying, like, this is a hero that you can just leave him alone. He's got escape mechanisms. He's going to be totally fine. And they make this rotation down here, and during this time period last game, SVG completely went off. He got such an early Blink Dagger from the Sand King, and right now he's at the bottom of the net worth, or rather the last hits. But we'll see if he can just like turn this again, just immediately into a Blink.
Time will tell indeed. Level 5 on the Ursa. Only so much he can do here. Envy not going to be able to finish off the tower in this push, but still putting a lot of pressure on and even pressuring the Ursa. This also gives some opportunity to 1437 on the Lion to get some precious solo XP mid. Of course, one of those supports that wants to hit 6 as quickly as possible, get to that burst damage, and the sooner he can find Finger, the sooner he can find kills, and the quicker he can start farming towards that Blink Dagger. So this is good for NP just in general. Envy's still farming very efficiently, and now their supports are even getting some. Way too initiated on in the mid lane. Follow-up stun from 1437. I don't know if they have the damage to find this kill, but they'll get the Naga low. And more space for this Lion to farm away.
Crafty, find a Snake King here, but yeah, interesting. They just kind of ditched bot. I guess they just didn't want to risk it. Wait till the next Metamorphosis, considered to be pretty easy at that point. 8 minutes again, no runes here for Snake King. Not having a fun time if you're not getting bounty runes.
Yeah, 36 last hits now. He is slowly on that road to recovery. Armlet around the corner, just a recipe off. So it's not all bad for Snake King. He's still number 1 on net worth. Given this slow start, he's actually recovered pretty nicely here, Trent. The jungle definitely works wonders for alchemists in this kind of a situation.
Yeah, Armlet maybe will be enough to get himself a kill. Still have to wonder about the control elements here. I mean, your Axe is a Vanguard. Means Blink Dagger. I mean, nice timing, don't get me wrong. Pretty good, right? 8.5 minutes. Not exactly the best game so far for your team. You're still pulling that out, but it just does mean that Blink Dagger is not there right now to help out. Can't help Snowball Mason at all. He's all on his own.
Yeah, it's not a very big lead for NP. It feels like they're in control of the game, but in terms of raw numbers, Yeah, it's only about a 400, 500 net worth lead or so, which really not too significant for 9 minutes, especially given that it is 3-1. They will look for another kill, perhaps, though. Envy on his way down does have the Metamorphosis available. MSS has a Chrono, and, well, sweet Mason, it was nice knowing you. This level 6 Ursa will get dropped before he can even turn on the ultimate. Nice follow-up stun from SVG. Makes it an easy kill, and Envy will be able to finish off that Tier 1 tower. So rinse and repeat, same exact thing we saw a few minutes ago, but they make it happen and find yet another kill, Trent.
Yeah, it seems like a real lapse in judgment, honestly, from Duwop. Like, they have this great ward up here, right? They know AUI is up here doing his own thing. Like, where's EE? I mean, you would have seen him rotate through here. We know how EE farms, right? Like, he hasn't been up here forever. You know he's still down in that jungle. You know they're just waiting to come and take that tower. Your Oracle's not level 6, so why are you holding 2 heroes next to a tower when you have, like, virtually no idea where they are?
Well, they'll find SVG in the jungle after not even a warding expedition, just going through the enemy jungle. Envy goes right in onto the Ursa. Ursa pops the ult to be able to stand his ground for now. Envy needs to be a little careful here. Drops the Sunder. Brings Snake King a little bit lower. He'll make it to the high ground, and now some of his teammates starting to converge. MSS does rotate up. No Chronosphere. The likes of the Void is enough to scare back Duwop. And that'll be the end of the little exchange. Smoke behind the tower. Envy, Rose, and SVG. Maybe they can have a go at Snake King here. He'll pick up the bounty room, but this Alk might get punished for it.
You looking for it? Level 3 burrow.
There it is. Just grabs him right on the edge of it. Follow-up stun from Lion, but Envy does not have meta. Finger. Can they bring Snake King down? Just a few seconds on the ult. They're starting to drain the mana. Armlet toggle. Oh, they just don't have it. There's the stun from Sand King. Now they have the Hex, and they will be able to finish him off. No more Armlet toggling for you. Good try from Snake King. Does stay alive a little bit longer than expected, but it's another kill for NP on that high-value target. As AUI starts to pressure the tower, we'll see Francis rotate up.
Wait, he's just like, man, where's my tome at, guys? Could have been level 6. Now he'll get it. Just a moment too late.
Yeah, no doubt about that one. Looking around at core items here, Armlet, Vanguard, the two big ones for Duwop. And on the dire side, AUI looking for just a Lincoln Spear, it looks like. And Envy has now picked up the Dragonlance. No big surprise there. Could just move right into the Manta next. Did not go for BOTs. Just the standard power tread. Some nice value items already tanking up here on the Terror Blade. SVG zoning back the Oracle as the rest of NP start to put some pressure onto this Tier 1 tower mid. Envy pops another Metamorphosis. They do have a Void. Chronosphere available. Let's see if Mojo can find the initiation.
No, they see him, though.
Uh-oh, Snake King, he might stun himself here. Nice Chrono, connects on 2. The follow-up stun from Snake King will make this an easy kill. No, not quite. Jason keeps him alive with a false promise, but they've got a lot of follow-up damage. He should pop here at the end. He will, just barely stays alive. Great support work from Jason. The Lions fall, and the Alchemist ends up going down in the end, but now SVG in a world of hurt. Doesn't have a stun for 1. Makes it up to the high ground. Axe can't quite get him.
Envy
now the
Sunder.
stun to the low ground. Envy sunders him up. He'll live. On the backside, MSS maybe in some trouble. Time walk into the trees. TP home. Francis looking for the Berserker's call, but can't get there in time.
Envy's so regretting that right now. He was like 1 mana away and waiting, and he was like, I can save you with a Sunder. Then he burrows down and Sunders him. He's like, oh shit. Now I have a Sand King at full HP. It's just like, okay. And you're just stuck like farming camp.
Yeah, that was an awkward sequence there. Both sides having trouble finding the kills. Hard for NP to find the initiation in the jungle like that. Just so many areas where DW can fog them. There's really no easy way for MSS to get good intel. There's no good ward spot there where you can get vision over the tree line.
Yeah, pretty good spot to fight for DW, honestly.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Now, you know, with Naga Song as well, like, if that starts going bad, that's when you run into a couple troubles.
Mm-hmm. But still great stuff for NP that they've been able to shut down the Alchemist. He was starting to recover, and now they have 2 cores that are farming ahead of him on net worth at 13 minutes. Definitely a good sign for the team against the Alchemist. He's up to 1,400 gold. This now begins the long grind towards the Relic. A big step to the Radiance, and still a pretty long ways away. Big window where NP can just continue to pressure and feel reasonably safe as AUI farms up. He's now just a recipe off the Lincolns, so all this space that they've made for him is going to start to pay off pretty soon here. Another 5 or 10 minutes, and this Morphling will start to be a pretty scary participant in these team fights.
Yeah, you can see as well just how much these kills are paying off for Envy right now. Despite being like 17 CS now behind AUI. He is way up on the net worth.
Mm-hmm.
600 gold up here. Loving it.
Does he just go Yasha now? Do you think about 2k gold up
so.
on Envy?
Yeah, just being active, right? Following around the void, waiting for AUI to come in. I don't really see any big dangers for him right now. Seems like Yasha's just safe.
Okay, fair enough. And now the Vlad's offering out on the void. This has really become just the standard off-lane void build. It's a great item to have at this stage, especially when you're grouped up as 5. Get some good lifesteal, some extra damage for the team. They'll move into Roshan, Metamorphosis deployed, and this looks like it'll be an uncontested Roach. Doo-Wop in the other quadrant of the map. They'll be able to finish off this tier 1 tower slowly but surely. I think NP will be okay to trade that away for a nice, easy Roche.
Again, it's just great movement by NP, just like the first time we saw them come out with their new squad. This time, great ward up here in the lane, sees the full rotation go, and they're just like, yep, this is going to be an easy Roche. We'll take that. First, like, tier 1 mid was available, but Roche was the safer and one would probably say the more beneficial play for them.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Axe very close to his Blink Dagger, though. SVG almost initiates on him. Would have been the perfect time to try to find a kill on the red man. Just 100 gold, pulling up a lot of unreliable, but instead NP just rotate bottom. Tier 2 tower goes down. Again, uncontested. Even just trading a tier 2 for that tier 1 top would have been good, but NP also managed to get a full Roche out of it to boot.
Yeah, they can just keep pressuring mid with Envy as well. No Metamorphosis really required here.
Yeah, just illusion spam at this point. The free glyph will be used. I mean, this is...
They don't know where Mason is. And actually, SVG's going to find him here. See his rotation, but he also doesn't have Blink, so...
Yeah, Mason
actually try and chase him.
A bit underfarmed right now. He's the lowest of the cores, and you can really feel it in that inventory. 15 minutes, you'd really want to have either a completed Vlad's or at least a Blink Dagger by now for sure.
He saw the pressure come down to his lane, too. There was no jungle for him to farm at all.
Oh, Envy got the tower mid. Very nicely
nice.
done there. It was a game of chicken, I guess you could say, as both sides stalled out with illusions looking for the deny or last hit, and Envy wins the battle. The battle of the wits. Well played. Also, Blink Dagger very close on Sand King. Just about 150 gold away for SVG. Of course, a huge item pickup there, as always.
Again, though, I mean, just like the last time, he just finds that space. Quite a few nice kills.
And there's the Lincolns.
Sync up here with MSS. Yeah.
Oh, AUI. You devil. Farming the enemy territory. Nice ward down here for the Dire, so he can do this pretty safe. 2 wards down, actually. 1 on the plateau, so he can feel very safe doing this. MP have pretty good intel on where Doo-Wop are, or at least where they're probably farming in the map. Just leaving them to the Ancients in that one hard camp. NP kind of... The way they're prioritizing the map, it's kind of like, hey, I'll throw you guys a bone here. You can have those stupid trolls and that Ancients for all 5 of you. We'll take the rest of the map and we'll call it a day. That's kind of what it feels like when you see AUI just like solo farming half of the Radiant jungle. This really doesn't look too afraid.
Yeah, well, the game plan right now for Doo-Wop, it's trying to get that same sort of an idea for snaking. You see Francis actually going around low-rank camps, and then Francis comes and finishes, or rather, snaking comes and finishes off here, trying to get up into that recipe there for the Radiants. And maybe, you know, it's a Terrorblade, it's a Morphling, it's a Faceless Void. We talked about how they're slippery, but they're also 3 heroes that love to kind of push the envelope as Trillium is running down. But maybe if they get a little bit too low, a Culling Blade comes out, perhaps that could be it, a Snake King.
Yeah.
No recipe coming.
An unfortunate demise for the Alchemist. They'll drop the finger to make it a nice, easy, clean kill.
Gotta get that blink.
Yeah, good time to bring him down. I mean, he's got some unreliable, still doesn't have the Radiance, even though he has the Relic. Well-timed gank, and that actually gets 1437, pretty darn close. 1,800 gold on him. That Blink Dagger is right around the corner, Trent.
Yeah, and look at AUI. He's like farming in the middle of. He's even like standing his own creep wave. He's got an Aegis. What are they gonna do? Like jump him with an axe and then what?
I guess so. You can tell by the way he's positioned that he is not afraid of much this game. Now the Blink Dagger on Axe has not been revealed. Something that perhaps he'll think twice about. I meant to say Ursa rather. Axe has had his. Ursa just picked up his Blink Dagger, and it will be revealed up top. Sorry, confusing my Blink boys.
Should find him though. SVG.
Francis.
Ooh, all right, here we go.
Creep wave coming.
We'll get him. Oh, no. Francis hesitating.
Come on, Francis. Ursa's ready. He's charged up. He's nearby. The Blink brothers are in town.
They saw him come on the ward, though.
SVG gets caught, but they don't follow up. They can't do it. Mason says, you know what, guys? This is feeling risky.
That's not a good sign.
I mean, to be fair, you look at Radiant Vision. They don't have a hell of a lot of it, and all of NP were missing, so it could have been a trap. Jason gets initiated on. AUI finds him. He will survive with the Fate's Edict. And that'll be it. AUI says, listen, this is my jungle. Your house has now become mine. Thank you, sir. We'll see you at the door. And Oracle just walks back to the high ground. Meta use as this tier 2 mid takes a lot of damage. They'll glyph it straight away. Now Alchemist gets his prized Radiance. 19-minute Radiance. What's the average on that one, Trent? I think this one's a little bit over par.
It's a wee bit late, you know. They held Aegis, I guess, right? Like they didn't take an awful fight with it, and now it runs out. The only problem is this Radiance. It's maybe some games it would be decent at this point, but you have a Terrorblade and a Morphling and a Sand King is also a great support when it comes to split pushing. So even like Octarine Core Manta is not going to be that terrible for NP to deal with. It might be enough to split them up, and maybe that's when that big, quick burst of an Ursa before they can react might come in handy. But that is such a long way from coming.
Yeah. Absolutely, and it's not like NP don't have tools to deal with the fights in that interim period. I mean, AUI now to another 3,000 gold after the Lincolns. He's not that far away from the shotgun, basically just a Ghost Scepter, which is a pretty scary thought. We'll see a smoke now from DW. They're looking for blood in the mid lane. They make it to the high ground. Scan gets used by both sides. I think the Dire scan caught them. The Radiant scan did not catch the Dire, so it's a victory for NP. And no option for Duop but to just back out here. Alchemist will finish off the tier 1, but they were hoping for a lot more than just a measly tier 1 tower with that.
All right, any more smokes, boys? We got one on Jason. We try this one again here.
Whoa, Shadowblade Void. Okay, I like this. Cool initiation tactic from MSS. Skipping the Blink Dagger with potential illusions, radiance, all these blinks. He wants an ability to sneak into the back line without revealing himself to get the Chronos. I like this. A really good game for it, I think.
It's perfect up against the double blink of the Axe and Ursa. Allows you to get that initiation off for free instead. No chance for them to blink out. And then, as you point out, Radiance, right? Like, if there's illusions do start to come from a Manta or something, it could be obnoxious enough that MSS will need a little bit of help. And now there's pressure on someone like this Axe and Ursa if they're trying to get a quick pick on MSS as like a duo.
Yep. And it also allows him to catch the heroes that he wants. We talked about how important it is with these supports in terms of reset. You've got the Song and the Siren as well as the False Promise. And now MSS can kind of evaluate the fight, maybe give them a little bit of extra intel as a mobile ward, and then make sure the Chrono connects on either or both of those heroes so that they can follow up and kill the cores right after. I think that's also part of it, as he's already putting it to good use, moving around the tree line here. Looking to catch a potential straggler. BOT's now up on the Alk, so Snake King can start to split farm at least a little bit. I don't know how effective it'll be, but it's still progress. I mean, Alchemist is not out of it yet. He's keeping pace.
Oh,
up top,
Mason.
Song of the Siren does keep Mason alive after the finger. Nicely done.
Oh, they're going to go for it.
Francis comes in. Berserker's Call. Oh, boy, they bring down the Void, but is the follow-up going to be enough? SVG with a stun on 3 after Theban set it up. Sand King getting low, but now the meta's come out, and Big Bad Eternal Envy's here to party. Follow-up blink from the Lion. Do they actually have the damage? I think Envy's gone in too deep. He drops the Sunder, but it's not enough. Now Morphling, he hops in, tries to bring down Snake King, but they can't quite do it. 1-4-3-7 caught by the concoction. There's 4 down on the side of NP. AUI able to buy out the E-Blade. Now he waveforms across, and it looks like he'll survive, but it's a huge fight for Duop, a 3,600 net worth swing. And now all of a sudden, Alchemist is #1 on the net worth chart.
Oh, that is actually so scary whenever he gets the Alk, though. Like, every little bit of breathing room, right? And he starts to push out. He gets that Manta up, and then you start getting punished. You suddenly lose this 4-tower lead that you have. Currently standing at 3 is there, so holding that tier 2 top. Oh, and they quickly get it back here.
Hello, Snake King. MSS, he drops the ult. AUI gets caught in it. This was not the dream Chrono. They still find the kill. It works out in the end, but it's a little bit sloppy from the spectator view. Oh, my. Well, NP still in okay shape. They still got a lot of tools to close out this game, but instead of it being just a quick 30-minute stomp, there is a sign of life for Duop here. And even though the Alchemist died, that fight will extend this, and at the very least, NP won't just run up to the high ground. They're going to wait out for this next Roche, and Well, they get a second go. There's also a Glimmer Cape up on the Naga Siren. Not something we mentioned, but just a good support utility item. Another reset tool.
That was up pretty early, too. It was like 19 minutes or so, or 18 for Waitu, which is, considering the game, being support Naga,
quite good.
Clearly, he's been doing a pretty good job with his illusions right now. Spreading them around and riptiding.
We're going to start seeing TB mid in our pub games, Trent. Is Envy on the cusp of a new trend here?
It's nice up against the Alchemist. He's like one of those heroes that brings out kind of weirder lanes because you know exactly what Alch's gonna do.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, and you can just pick a hero that can stand acid, and they also had an Oracle and a Naga, right? So survivability wasn't exactly an issue. The ganks weren't really coming in mid.
Yeah, that's a good point. When you have those support heroes and you're also doing a try-on-try, so you have constant eyeballs on them, it does change the mid dynamic a little bit, compared to perhaps what you're used to. Also, SVG has now picked up Gem of True Sight, so let the dewarding commence. He'll bump into one here in the Radiant Jungle as NP start to posture around the Roche Pit. With the vision control, this should be nice and easy. Envy upgraded that Dragon Lance and Hurricane Pike, so now he can sit back from afar, have a little more survivability with his new mobility tool.
Back to maybe a little bit more calculated Dota here, right?
Yeah.
That was a pretty scrappy fight. You know, it's not exactly the best place when you're this far ahead. You decide to fight right underneath their tower.
True.
Not exactly the dream, right? Like the one place they can respond to on the entire map.
Very true. the one place they still have a tower and could actually TP in to take a fight. Yeah, when you put it like that, it might have been one of the worst places for NP to take a fight outside of, diving tier 3s or something. Alas, they will find another uncontested Roche. Aegis of the Immortal goes the way of the Morphling, and they will not come to defend this tier 2 up top. They burn the Glyph, but they just start to split out and continue farming here as they move into the Radiant Jungle. So NP still just very focused on finding superior farm at this stage as Envy starts gearing up for a Scotty. Point booster picked up.
MSS. He's got the chrono. Oh, did they not see him? Oh, that was close.
Makes it out, though. Now BOT is up on the Morphling. So now AUI can start doing some split push of his own. A lot of split pushing capabilities for both sides in this game, really.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Yeah, and a little bit of a flea, another Invis rune. Can this one work out slightly better, I hope?
We'll see. Both teams grouping up here like they're eager to fight. Snake King, he's up to the Manta now. So he is getting to this illusion harass stage where he can at least push out the lanes while they're skirmishing. Finding
up here, though. They're not interested in this game going much further, I don't think, from the side of NP. Have the Aegis, would like to use it.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If they win a fight near the enemy base with Metamorphosis still up, they can just cripple tier 3 tower and barracks.
Game sense here, though.
Mm-hmm. DW
look at their vision here. Radiant
up.
side, they are in the base. They are not having any of this.
Yeah, Radiant don't see anything. They've got one ward down way up in enemy territory. They're not really helping them out in terms of this rotation.
Waytu's been sending a lot of illusions. Oh, nicely done with that gem, too. Because they did get it off Oh, no, they didn't. Thought it was SVGs for a second there. They bought their own. But either way, using the illusions to clear out some of their own vision from the Dire. Nice little play.
Yep. Naga carrying the gem. One of the better gem carriers in the game because of the illusions, as you're talking about.
That's such a funny interaction to me. I don't know why. It doesn't seem like one of those things you would think would carry over.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I kind of agree. I mean, part of the whole thing with gem is that it's a high risk, high return, or high reward item, right? It's expensive. If you die, it drops, but gives you just unlimited detection. It's sort of like the Arc Warden illusion not dropping Rapier. It's like, well, doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of Rapier? That's like the whole thing is that it drops. Mason, speaking of dropping, he tries to go in on AUI, but there is just no hope here. Not going to be able to TP home, and that's a freebie for NP. It's a dominating streak as well. Some extra money going the way of AUI as if he needed it. Unfortunate death for DW. Should be the end of their tier 2 top.
Yeah, I mean, again, got to take those risks, really. Like, Alchemist can't push enough to defeat this team by himself, especially without Nocturne Core. So those kind of plays will happen, and they will punish it. And their last tower appears to be Dunzo.
Dunzo. We were just watching Parks and Rec with Buka when he was here, and there's that whole episode where the Dunzo thing. That was the first time Buka had heard the expression Dunzo. Parks and Rec.
I'm glad you cultured him. Man.
Educating Serbia one person at a time. It's funny just the little things that he noticed. Oh, God. All right, anyway, high ground siege begins. NP destroying
Francis.
this tier 3.
Oh, they got him. They found him.
Oh, God. He's actually going to live. Very nice. Tier 3 tower. Not going to be so lucky, though. The glyph is done. AUI taking a lot of damage. He does have the Aegis, so he'll be just fine. Envy from the low ground finishes off the tower. Snaking. Can't do much about it, but watch it die. He gets dipped down low as the shotgun comes out. Won't be enough for a kill, but it does push them back. NP being very cautious here. They've got MSS in the back line, ready to chrono.
Oh, yeah, they're double salving Snaking. All right, everyone is ready here.
Francis looking for the initiation. Concoction does stun on Envy, but it's a close call. AUI focused on the barracks for now. They will finish off the ranged. Snake King getting low again, but can they finish him off? They've got the finger, and they get it. Mason goes out, tries to bring down Envy, but doesn't have the damage. Francis catches AUI, but he's morphing strength. Still holding on to the Aegis. Not a target they can bring down easily. And after forcing a buyback on the Alk, NP will be happy to just back up. They didn't even use the Chronosphere and were still able to force out a glyph, a ranged barracks, and a buyback on the Alchemist. Pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, you held melee, so you're happy as that. Or happy for that as do-up, I suppose,
Yeah,
but...
It's a silver lining, but it's
Yeah.
pretty brutal. I mean, at this rate, MSS will have an Agatims in 2 minutes, about 500 gold away. Full Scotty, now up on Envy, wasn't there for the last fight. And now a Manta style on Morphling, so a big round of core items now coming out on NP. This next fight, I think, is going to be very tough for Duop. The Aegis will expire, 6 minutes till Roshan respawns. They've got that.
This is where they're pushing out as a group because they know that Aegis is down, and this is their biggest chance to fight, and they might find MSS here.
They do, but do they actually have the damage? Remember, he's got Chrono, but oh my, Axe gets a couple of spins, and the Void gets annihilated. Very nicely done. Francis will get credit for that. And again, NP going to be forced back.
10-second BKB on Mason here. Talk about how it's a necessary item, it seems, this game with just the Lion, the Morphling, the Sand King. Frustrating against Chrono, but without the Blink Dagger, you know, it is the Shadow Blade build. It is going to be the Agnums next, but maybe you can find that edge of the fight where he can't just blink Chrono using BKB. Is now AUI looking to punish that melee Rax.
Dude, he's putting some damage into it as Lincoln's gets broken, forces back all of the TPs, and DW will hold. They managed to finish off that tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. Pretty minor victory, but I guess Alk will take it. Morphling, one of the most irritating heroes in this situation. He's chipping away at the barracks, almost solo kills the Ursa. That's a 10-second BKB charge.
And now he's just over here. What a hero, honestly.
God. AUI playing this so well. Exactly what you want to do with the Morphling at this stage. Make the other team feel like they have nowhere to farm, nowhere to breathe. It's that feeling that the Morphling is just omnipresent. Well done.
Even just now eclipsed in terms of last hits by Snake King. So very impressive there from AUI. Octarine Core, 1,000 gold away here for Snake King. Gets himself an Arcane Rune to boot.
Mm-hmm. This is kind of a slow game, though. 19 kills in 32 minutes. It's been a lot of time just sitting back farming.
A lot of that coming because of this fight up top, I am sure. Like, if that doesn't happen, that one bad fight for NP, this game's probably just over, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was like Alchemist at that fight was on the cusp of either moving into #1 net worth or just being forever behind, and winning that fight allowed him to get over the hump, get the Manta, and once you have Manta Radiance, even if you can't win fights or put a lot of pressure on, you can still farm pretty fast. As you can see now, he's pretty close to the Octarine Core, and he's been at least able to keep tempo. Now the Agatims comes out on Void, so MSS can feel pretty comfortable just dropping that Chrono for any opportunity. 60-second cooldown. Pretty big deal.
Yeah, not too common these days, right?
Yeah, it's really not.
The Fusil Blade, of course, being the bigger one, even if you've gone for like a Blink build, but with the Shadow Blade, it's even kind of odder to see the Agatims, as you do have like this attack speed bonus already going, so you're thinking more like synergy along the lines of like a Diffusal Blade or something, but yeah.
Yeah, the Diffusal Manta has really been the classic. Once you have the Vlad's and initiation tool, usually a Blink. It's all
I guess
about
maybe
the
not
mana
the best
burn.
Diffusal game, right? Like Oracle stuff, kind of annoying, the Fate's Edict, but
Down bottom,
overall,
Snake King initiated on by SVG. In comes AUI. They've got the damage, or do they? Snake King lives through it. AUI loses the Lincolns, and Jason comes in and saves him. It's a noble setup, but NP just can't quite get it.
All right, man. Jason's still level 9. Holy. So he's still rocking that 100-second cooldown. That kind of sucks.
That's huge, though. That keeps the Alk alive, and now his
big
Octarine
plays.
core is up.
Man, the dream. All right. That was some pretty sick toggles right there, actually, by Snake King.
Yeah,
so
that
well
too.
played.
That too. Roshan, still about 2 minutes, so a longer respawn. Probably something NP will want to wait for at this point. Everyone just sitting back and farming. NP had a lot of map control. They were really limiting where DW could farm, but now there's enough illusions spread around that it's not so easy for them. 100%
And you start to
uptime.
look around, like,
Yeah.
other items. Francis, I mean, Blade Mail, but again, like, Envy has 29 armor, so if he's, like, right-clicking on you or whatever, he doesn't care. The other hero is a Morphling, similarly, 27 armor. Blade Mail not doing a lot against them, so it's just basically onto the Sand King and the Lion, and that'll be handy. Might allow Francis to be a little bit more disruptive, but overall, not much is going to turn the tides here for them. Just, again, it's going to have to kind of look like that fight up top.
Yeah. Yeah, where NP just kind of stagger in and don't really fight around the chrono as they should. I mean, honestly, we're still... oh, it's actually almost a max respawn rush. I misread the timer when I first looked at it, so it's a full another minute now. Kind of unlucky for NP. I mean, I guess they're okay to continue farming up. Morphling... What's he looking at now? Is that a Scotty of his own? Yeah, it must be.
Envy's buying Butterfly. Good luck killing him. Poor Mason's never going to see an MKB, I don't think.
I doubt it. He still has a lot to go, and I guess Shiva's Guard out on him next.
Oh, for Snake King?
On the,
yeah.
On the hour.
The Octarine core up against Terrorblade Illusions. Pretty good this game.
Yeah, that's a fair point. It's
You can
another
always argue
tool.
for the AC, of course, but, I mean, the benefit to Octarine core is just so nice with Shivas.
Yep. All right, y'all. It's about time to get to getting. Scotty up on the Terrorblade. Right now, NP are sitting there just like, God damn. Any second now. I think this is close to the max spawn timer, guys. And 1437 will be the lucky winner. He scouts it out. But look at this already. DW, they've got the timing. They know that Roche has to be up at this stage, and Cheese is on the line. They smoke up. They rotate in. Snake King reveals the smoke. Double damage on Envy, though. This might not be the best time to fight. Francis goes in. They catch him. Envy might die. Sunder, he can't get it off. It's a quick pick on the high-value target, but now Void drops the chrono. Song of the Siren tries to reset things, but SVG gets off an ult. BKB, now used by the Ursa MSS, goes up to the high ground. It's not the fight that NP were hoping for, but can DW actually clean this up? 1437 does some burst damage, but it costs him his life. AUI stuck on the high ground. TP home. They lose 2. It'll be a great fight for DW, and now it looks like they could be the ones to claim Roche. Envy
nice.
does not have a buyback. He's down for 40. He just went all in on the Butterfly. Can they hold this until Envy spawns?
I don't know. I'm not sure what MSS is doing here.
It's an Alk replicate, though. This is great. The illusion. It's burning him down. AUI jumps in. They destroy the Oracle. This is the beginning of the turn. MSS, now he's the one that gets destroyed. AUI getting low, pops the Manta. He's got to be careful. The stun on the way. AUI does not have the Lincolns. And now the follow-up, stun from SVG, buys him a little bit of space. Maybe the Morphling can still live. They're just trying to make space right now, prevent them from taking Roche while Envy's in the grave, and AUI has achieved that goal. He does not have the TP, though. They find the interrupt, and they will kill the Morphling. Huge sacrifices from NP, and now the Morphling's down for 70 seconds.
Is it, dude.
Oh,
The
my
buybacks
God.
are coming up. They don't want to give up this Aegis.
This is
It's
huge,
happening.
though.
This is the fight top, dude.
This is huge. DW have already gotten a lot out of this. Roche is low. They're going to go back in. Still 60 seconds on Morphling down. Envy does have Metamorphosis. Here's the Chronosphere. They're going to try to find the Roche themselves. Can they finally finish it off? They don't have the damage. Roche goes down to the Radiant. Aegis gets picked up by Ursa. NP in a lot of trouble here. Snake King falling fast as Envy brings him low, but he'll just barely survive. The Glimmer Cape keeps him alive. Now Envy getting turned on. He doesn't have a Sunder. Stun from SVG brings Mason low. That'll be the end of the Aegis. They brought down the Nug. Naga, but now Envy in a lot of trouble. The stun comes out from the Alchemist. They've got the right clicks, but no, Envy, he's still alive. He's on 3 HP. They finally burn him down. SVG with the stun. MSS has to get out of dodge. NP dropping like flies as they lose the Lion on the backside. SVG holding onto the gem, now has no mana for the TP, pops the stick charges. He's on the run. Now the buyback from Naga. Siren, DW know this is a huge opportunity. Can they find this gosh darn Sand King, though? It looks like they won't be able to. He'll TP home. Well, he'll walk home. Either way, he'll survive.
Yeah. Kill not as important as keeping that melee rack.
My God. Look at the gold graph, though. What a swing of momentum. They don't hang on to the Aegis, but DW got Roche out of that. Ursa gets the Aegis, and they win this crazy long, drawn-out fight.
4 kills. What's happening?
What a game. Okay, well, it's not over yet. AUI in some trouble mid lane, perhaps. Turns, drops some damage into the Ursa. Lincoln Sphere keeps him safe from the concoction. But now DW, they're pushing up the mid lane. They're not in Hail Mary mode, but they are feeling frisky. They need to be a little careful, though. The Alk buyback is back available, so never mind. It's been actually quite some time since Snake King had to use it before. They finish off the tier 2. As well as 2 buybacks on cooldown for the Dire.
C9 hoodies, boys.
Yeah, really.
Go back to your closet. Find that thing way back there.
What is Morphling getting, though? I thought he was going Scotty, but he's now picked up a Shadow Amulet. Is he going to go into, like, a Silver Edge or something?
I couldn't tell you what is happening with that one. I mean, it must be, right? Because, like...
Yeah, I mean, Ultimate Orb builds into the Silver Edge.
Yeah, it's stat efficient. I guess, or it's stats, you know.
Yeah, there it is. He buys the recipe. Interesting.
I have an odd choice. No blink.
So, do you think it's a similar thought process, though, to the Void Shadow Blade, where he just wants to be able to get in the back line, start the fight by just popping the Oracle? You know, like just get in the back line, kill one of the supports, and then take the fight from there. I mean, the
All right, first Aghanim's.
Oh, okay. Who's it going to?
I can't believe we reached the point where Snake King is buying Aghanim Scepters.
I didn't think it would happen. I think you give it to the Ursa.
Oh, it's a Mason. That's so good.
Yeah.
That makes up for everything. All right. Okay. So who's next then? I guess the Axe is actually probably still better than Naga.
Axe is
and then
pretty
the Oracle,
good.
what is it, 1.2 seconds or something
on
your E?
Yeah, the Oracle one is cool. I think the Naga one's actually pretty damn good here, though. You talk about resetting a fight with Song of the Siren. The regen is pretty significant. I mean, it really gives you a full team fight reset with everyone getting kind of topped off. This game just got a lot more interesting, Trent. There are a lot of possibilities for this Radiant team.
An NV team's good for. It is interesting Dota. I mean, the man, the chaos.
Dude, he does make it interesting to watch. For better or for worse, never a dull moment. She's now in the inventory
he's just for
of
the fans,
TB.
dude. He would have been a great gladiator.
Yes, he certainly would have. Uh-oh, Snake King drops a stun on the illusion. Shivas comes out. He does have a lot of teammates nearby.
Oh, this is just so tempting.
Look at MSS. He's thinking
They're so
about
hesitant. How is this happening in this game? They were so ahead.
Oh, he only catches Jason. Way too with the instant counter initiation Song of the Siren. Do they actually want to go on this, though? MSS now caught by Francis. They whiff the Berserker's Call. Oh, no. Now the turn the other way, perhaps. Snake King, he gets left behind, initiated on. SVG brings him low. He pops the ult. They'll kill the Alchemist. AUI goes in deep. The Sunder from Envy keeps him alive. Buyback, though, from the Alk. Their Oracle dies on the back line. They need to find more kills as Axe goes down. This Ursa loses his BKB. Snake King's about to die back here. Envy, he was saving the meta. He picks up another kill, and now it's looking good for NP. The buyback from Axe, way too in a little bit of trouble. Will make it back out. Owie goes in too deep. He gets brought down. Ursa getting low. They'll finish him off as well. Buyback's coming up plenty from the Radiant, but they just don't have it. Ultra kill for Envy. Can he make it 5? Ursa, the only one left back in the game. The top lane of Barracks fall. Envy starts laying into tier 4 towers. He's got some time left on the meta. 1 tier 4 falls, and they'll get the second. I think this is game here, Trent. DW are out of buybacks, out of resources, and after 43 minutes, NP will take the game. But boy, did they make their fans sweat in the process.
That's pretty much the best way you can put it. Maybe trying out some separate tactics. But in the end, they get the victory, right? Best of
That's
ones.
I mean
Always
that's
a
all
little
that
bit
matters.
scary.
Whew.
But W.
Wow. An action-packed game, but a lot to take away from it, man. The Terrorblade versus Alchemist mid matchup worked very well, unconventional for NP, but was pretty solid. Definitely a point where they got maybe a little cocky. They did throw that one fight, but for most of the game, it felt like pretty good execution from NP. Very formulaic, methodical play, controlling the map, slowly starving them out. It was a big misplay in the mid game to extend it, but I think NP still looking pretty strong. I have high expectations for this team for sure.
It's a really good countershooting hero in the Naga, right? Like Song is, if you don't get the Naga, it's not like an Oracle or something where like he has to like get close and like throw out a false promise and it's only one hero. It's Naga. It's like Song. The whole fight's like basically turned into your team's favor, so that is tough. And we saw the impact of that, but victorious in the end.
Absolutely. So coming up next, we do have 2 more matches, and now I think it is the losers that face off, and then we have that one kind of like tie-break match to round things out. So up next, what do we have here? It was Team Fox versus Not Today, the 2 losers, and that is scheduled to start in about 25 minutes. So another short break here, folks. We're going to be coming back for more Dota 2. We've got 2 more best of ones coming your way tonight here on moonducktv. I'm Zyori. He's Mottpax. Thank you so much for joining us. We've been having a blast so far, and I think it's only going to get better from here. So stick around because we're coming back after this.